The RV Show USA.
So we're going to bring up an RVer who I think has a terrifying story to share about a brand new RV that he purchased and what happened that very well could have killed somebody. Now, this story is very recent, and we need to be extremely careful about what we say and how we say it on the air. And you're probably going, why? Well, because we do not want to jeopardize our guests' chances in getting a settlement. So we will not be using his real name. We will not be mentioning the dealer that he bought from by name, nor the manufacturer's name that built the RV. I think that you'll understand why in the next few minutes, but you talk about a scary deal. So let's bring up our guest on line 2. What should we call you? How about Todd? I like the name Todd. What do you think? Todd?
Sounds good to me, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks for being with us. We'll just call you Todd for the next little bit. How's that?
Sounds wonderful, sir.
All right, so you have one hell of a story. As I mentioned, let's not bring up any specific names. I don't want to get you into any trouble. But start out, tell me about when you bought your RV. What type of an RV did you buy, and why you bought it, where you did. Just kind of give me the general so we get a feel for who you are, Todd.
Well, my family and I, we purchased a trailer before in 2014. That was our first one, and we just kind of enjoyed it, and we just wanted to update it, though. So we figured we'd go buy a new one. We did our research online and found one north from our house that about 2 hours away that we figured we'd go get. And that was in January 19th exactly. And, we headed up there.
Okay, so did you have an RV you were selling before you bought this one, or you traded it in, or?
We traded it in. We still owed on it, so we just decided to trade it in.
Okay, so did you get a bigger RV, a larger one? Is that what you did? You moved up?
Yes. Our old one was 27 feet, and we went to 32 feet.
Okay. And so you bought that. What? You have a family, children?
Yes, 4 kids. Married with 4 kids.
And I guess you guys all RV and camp together.
Yes, we go with our friends most of the time, and occasionally just us as a family. We enjoy it a lot. We camped always, and then my wife started really enjoying the RV life, so we just stuck with that.
In terms of your level of experience as an RVer, what would you categorize yourself? You're not a beginner. Are you a seasoned expert, or are you somewhere in between, do you think, Todd?
I would think I'm somewhere in between. I've been a operator of heavy machinery and pulling trailers. I did it in the military for 3 years, and then when I got out, I was a diesel mechanic for 15 years, and I would pull those big trailers. And we had a 20-foot trailer, and we would load our quads and dirt bikes on in 2008, and we've had a trailer ever since 2008 at some point. So.
All right, so how were y'all planning on using this? It was a travel trailer, right? The bumper
That is correct. It was a travel trailer.
Okay, and so how were y'all planning on using it, and how often? How long are road trips? Very often or not very often?
Our goal was this summer was to take it all across the United States because we have family in multiple different states, so we wanted to visit everybody. Prior to that, we've taken our old one, usually just stayed in California, up and down the coast, and that's about it. We haven't took it out of state yet, so that was our goal.
Okay, folks, his name is not really Todd, but we cannot reveal his name for obvious reasons, as you're going to find out here in the next few minutes. Todd bought a brand new RV, and he's there. I believe that he and his family are lucky to be alive, and nobody was really injured. But this is the kind of thing that can happen. Doesn't happen often, but if it happens and you happen to be the one that it happens to, it's got to be scary as all get out. We're not going to really get into the accident until our next segment. But what kind of a tow vehicle do you have, Todd? And tell me about that. A 32-foot travel trailer, you got to have something pretty big to tow it with.
Well, I have a GMC Sierra. It's just a 1500, but the the trailer we had was extra light, so it didn't weigh over 7,400 pounds, and the truck's rated to tow 9,600 pounds.
Okay. In terms of the dealership that you bought it from, do not say their name, but how were you treated, do you think? I mean, going in and during the sales process, buying process?
Oh, during the buying process, we were treated extremely well. They talked a good game. They tried to wine and dine us, gave our kids some popcorn, and, tried to take care of us very well. And then later just kind of felt like they were just after the money.
So once the paperwork was signed and you guys were ready to, I guess, do your walkthrough, tell me about the walkthrough. How long did they take? Did you feel real comfortable with the walkthrough? Walk me through that process.
Okay. Well, we got up there a little late. We were supposed to go on a Saturday morning, but we had some car trouble at a gas station, so we stopped to help this gentleman. So we were dealing with that. I didn't want to leave the guy stranded by himself, so we ended up leaving late. And by the time we got up there, it was actually the sun was setting, and so we just kind of did a quick walk around the outside. But it looked good because we figured it's brand new, literally 2019. So to our eyes, we figured it looks good, And then we got in the inside, and lights are on, and we could see very well, and everything looked perfect. And so we said, okay, let's go sign the papers. And we went inside, signed the papers, and they said, oh, we'll hook it up to your truck for you. And I gave them the keys, and they were going to go hook everything up that needed to be hooked up with a sway bar and equalizer, weight bars, and all that. So
your comfort level, it sounds like at this point, before you hit the road, you guys are high as a kite. You're happy campers. You can't wait to get on the road, right?
That's correct.
How soon did things begin to unravel, if you will?
Well,
without going into what the big, I shouldn't laugh, the catastrophe. Yeah. When did things you all of a sudden notice this ain't right?
Well, we noticed on the way home that some lights were kind of blinking on one of the sides of the trailer. And I just figured maybe the wire or something was coming loose. But we were close home, so I was like, well, I'll just fix it when we get home. We weren't too far from home when that happened. And we got home, and we parked it in our parking area. And then after that, the next day is when we realized everything happened.
So it was the first, when this accident that we'll talk about in our next segment happened, that was the very next day after you bought the RV?
No, sir. The accident was 3 months later after they fixed everything that was wrong with it, supposedly the first time. We had it less than 24 hours when there was damage to the trailer itself. That
you caused or was already existing?
Well, I know I didn't cause it. It was a slide out, and it was the ramrod that pulls in out and pulls in the slide out went through the side of the slide out.
Oh, lovely. We have Todd on the phone who is telling us his story, one that is some kind of scary, about his purchase of a brand new travel trailer. So, Todd, before you take us to the morning of your accident, had y'all noticed anything wrong with the RV when you left that morning on your trip, as you were hitting the road?
Yes, sir. We on the day before, we actually noticed that when we picked it up after it had some other work done on it. That
from the dealer.
From the dealer, that is correct.
Okay.
They had fixed some items that needed to be fixed on it that were we found bad, and they said everything was good to come get it. So when we went to pick it up, we hooked everything up, and we were getting ready to leave, and we noticed that the brake lights on the trailer aren't working, and the lights on top aren't working on just the one side, on the driver's side. And so I asked the advisor to come back up, the service guy, and he came out and grabbed a mechanic, and they tinkered with it, changed the fuse or did something with the wire. I'm not sure, the 7-way wire. And they got it to work again. And we checked the light scan, everything was working, and they said, okay, it should be fine now. And this was in the parking lot. I said, are you sure? Nothing's wrong with it? He said, no, go ahead. It should be okay. And so we drove away, took it home, loaded up, and went off for our weekend.
So going home was fine. You thought everything was good. Now it's the morning of the impending disaster. Where were y'all going? Had you been there before? Tell us about, were you packed up, everything? I guess everybody was really excited.
Yeah, we were extra excited. We were going with some friends. We usually do a trip every year with them because they have a trailer as well. And so it was our first time going to the place we went. It's over on the coast. We had been there multiple times to the coast and to where we were going, just never stayed there. So we decided to spend the weekend there, and everything went smooth. The trailer was parked. Everything was fine. We did have a little problems with the slide out coming back in, but it worked itself out, and I think it was just jarred or something. I'm not too sure, but it came back in, and then we went on our way home. So
you got there fine. Everything's great. Now you're on your way back home. I guess that's pretty uneventful until something happened instantaneously. Tell us what happened. What was going on when this was happening?
Well, we were getting ready to get onto the freeway, and there's like a small hill. Nothing. The grade's not too great on it. It's just small grade, and I was just slowing down a little bit because there was a stop sign, and I didn't want the car to pull out in front of me. So I was just in case someone did, I was just easing on the brake just a little bit, and one side of the trailer locked up, and it just started swerving back and forth. And I was trying to keep the truck under control, and because on one side of the truck and trailer was a 45-foot drop or more, and on the other side was the freeway, and I didn't want to. Either way, it was a bad result. So you've got
brakes locked up on a 32-foot travel trailer, driving down, trying to get on the freeway. You weren't going real fast, but now it starts swerving. Did it just progressively get more swervy? I mean, it got more radical or what happened?
Yeah, it got a lot more radical because it was just the one side that locked up. The other side, they just weren't functioning, and it even had a trail mark of just the one side of the brake line. And it just swerved. It pulled us really hard one way and then pulled real hard the other way. And then when it came back is when it flipped over on its side.
How long did this whole thing take from the moment it began to when it was on its side? And tell me about what was going on inside that truck cab with your 4 kids and your wife.
Well, it probably took it felt like 30 seconds maybe, and 45 seconds, and it was my wife and kids were all, I'd say, praying. They were all shouting for Jesus. Yeah. And I was just silent, trying to keep my mind set on keeping it straight.
What time of day was it, Todd?
It was in the morning. I'd say about 10 a.m.
Traffic pretty bad or not bad at all?
Not at all. No, not a lot of people at all.
Thank goodness. So all right. So when you got out, you found out what actually happened. What did happen? Are you absolutely certain you found the cause right away, or what?
After seeing it, you could see the skid marks on the one side of the road, and you could see it all the way down. I thought when I was in the truck still, I just thought we just lost the trailer, it disconnected or something. And then when I looked back, and the back end of the truck's up in the air, and the trailer's on its side. And so the half of the bottom of the trailer was coming apart from the sidewall of the trailer itself. I'd say 3/4 of the way down.
Let me jump in here for just a second. Folks, you're listening to Todd from, I'm not even going to say where he lives. Todd had posted something on social media recently that literally, if there's something that caught on fire, Todd, your deal caught on fire, and I was contacted by so many people that said you must get the story on this guy. And yeah, I'd love to be able to show pictures on the live stream. I'm just not going to do that. But this had to be, what were the next few hours like for your family?
It was a little nerve-wracking and scary. We had somewhere we had to be by a time frame. That's why we left early enough to make it. And the police, of course, the highway patrol showed up, they were extremely polite and courteous and helpful. They kind of just blocked traffic for us and had people go around. We had multiple people stop to make sure we were okay.
So y'all weren't hurt at all? Nobody was hurt?
No one was hurt at all, not to any of our physical damage that we were able to tell. Just I'd say maybe a little emotionally, but that was it.
Oh my God! Has the accident caused you guys to sour on RVing, or you still want to get an RV and go out camping?
Yeah, we really don't want a trailer anymore because it was a travel trailer, and we don't want. We were thinking maybe a C-Class, but not anytime soon. No one really is in the mood at this point.
My gosh. So what has happened with the dealer and the manufacturer, without naming names? From what I understand, that they have contacted you, which is remarkable. Somebody responds as quickly as they have. When did the accident happen? What month?
The accident happened in March, but we had multiple problems with them since the day we bought it, since the next day after we bought it.
And this is 2019. We're not talking about 2018. We're talking about this year.
Yes.
Wow.
This year, brand new, and it had nothing. Like I said, by the time we got it home, the slide broke on it, the wire was pinched, tons of rust all over the bottom. It was ridiculous. It should not have. It's not something anybody should have ever sold.
What kind of advice do you have for our listeners in terms of them buying a brand new RV and possibly maybe getting a third-party inspection? I don't know. What kind of advice would you give for somebody? Because it sounds like you guys did just about everything right.
I'd say take the time. Get there early enough during the day. Take the time to look it completely over. And if you don't know what you're looking for, to have someone that does know, that already has an RV or they understand it, or even a mechanic with you, and just go over it thoroughly.
Well, your wife, that picture she took and posted on social media, man, it didn't take long for things to light up, did it?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
It terrified my kids because we were right next to that cliff, and they were standing there in the grass because it just had a grass patch, and the police officer had told them, pulled up and told them, you guys might want to move from there because this year alone we've had 6 cars go off right there, and just this month someone went off and died.
Oh, wow. All right, well, listen, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish you the very best of luck, and the moral of the story is take your time, slow down, and thank you again for being on with us. Okay, Todd?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, you take care. You know what, folks? It's stories like Todd's that you won't hear talked about anywhere else but right here. And it is another example of why selecting the right RV and the right RV dealer is so very, very important.
Hi, this is Goose from the RV Show USA, and these are today's winners to ensure you get your $50 gift card. Make sure you send an email to info@thervshowusa.com. And if you would like to enter to win a $50 gift card of your very own, head over to thervshowusa.com and sign up for our email list. And if you like this video and would like to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's right over there. And turn on the notifications so you will be notified whenever a new video comes out for the RV Show USA. And as always, thank you for watching.